Morning. It is a beautiful April the 29th morning here. Got a little bit of fog this morning, a little bit of dew on the ground, but not much. But this morning, instead of planting, I am going to be putting on those Yetter wheels on this thing. Yetter closing wheels. And also, me and BJ, I believe, are going to start putting in the twin bin on the Oxbow. I want to get both of those accomplished today if possible. I say if possible because I am not well versed in putting in the twin bin at all, meaning I've never done it. So we'll see how it goes. Now nothing would thrill me more than to hop into this planter and plant my little heart out today and, you know, put 400 or 500 acres of corn in the ground. But that's not what we're going to do today. We got other tasks that need accomplished. Basically, we have not got any beans planted yet, and I would like to have a few hundred acres of beans in the ground, but we do not because we don't have all of our products supplied. We don't have all of our products supplied to our bean ground. There's 2 more products. We want to get that twin bin in so that, well, you're just a lot more efficient. You can only make 1 pass to the field instead of 2. Just had a close car encounter back there. The fella, he was more than accommodating. It's funny, half the people will do anything and everything they can to help you. Well, probably 90%. And then there's that 10% that'll flip you off and tell you how much they pay in taxes and they got it right to the road, which they do. But hey, I'm just trying to get, you know, down the road and get the crops planted. I love it whenever I post a video on traffic and you know, like stuff like that on Facebook especially. You see the really out there folks. You should have to load that up on a lowboy and trailer it everywhere. Let me tell you folks, if I had to load this planter and then this tractor on a lowboy every time we moved it down the road, I don't know what your food would cost, but it would be substantially higher if we had to do that. And it'd be very difficult to get everything planted. Like, that's a 40-acre field. It'll take me roughly, when I plant that, it'll take me an hour and a half. And by their logic, I would have to put that on a lowboy and move to go a mile up the road to the shop. Folks, this might get interesting. 2 planters. Narrow spot in the road. This might be entertaining. Not even close. You might say, though, it 'tis the season. Oh, yeah, I don't think you guys have noticed that thing in the yard, have you? That is a Underforth Nutramax with shanks and wide drop. I don't know what they call those. I don't think they call them wide drops, but basically that's a side dress bar with a shank in the middle and then 2 straws basically behind it, putting 28 right on the row. You guys will see that thing in action, but not for a couple months. Got delivered a little early. That is a demo. That is not ours. That actually isn't from Underforth. It'll all make more. It is from Underforth, but it'll all make more sense in a couple months. So if you see it in the yard, that's why it's here. Yeah, you'll see in a little bit. And jamming coming up the road. I'm really in the mood to plant corn. That was fun. I'd really rather just plant corn today. You may be wondering, why didn't you put the twin bin in earlier? Well, if you remember, or if you don't remember, we were doing a lot of lime. And you can't run a twin bin when you're doing lime. That's why this was taken out. Yeah, it's just never been put back in. Here's the whole thing. I really don't remember how this goes in there. But this is basically a whole nother fertilizer bin that sits down in the spreader, and then you can apply 2 products at once. So on our bean ground, we still have to put on phosphorus and sulfur. I've already spread the potash, but by doing this, well, we'll be able to do it in 1 pass instead of 2 separate passes. I don't know what hardware this thing took, but I don't see any. And I feel like this would be way easier if we had a crane. So we're gonna move the spreader down and then come back and get the loader. Hopefully this goes smooth. I don't know, folks. I'm kind of worried that it won't. Now we do have a pretty good chance of rain tonight, but we're kind of at the place where we need to get this fertilizer on before much else happens. Dad doesn't want me to plant any more corn for a little while because the way we do our corn, we plant and then we come back and top dress 28 right after planting before it's out of the ground. Well, Dad still has about 3 tanks of bean burn down to do before he switches over to 28. So he's kind of worried that if I keep planting, I'm going to get too far ahead of him. So that's kind of why we're pumping the brakes on corn planting. It does feel very strange, but that corn planter, being 60-foot high speed, we only have about 1,100 more acres of corn to plant, and I could plant that in 5 days pretty easily. So we'll be all right. The beans, on the other hand, is the one that's kind of worried me. So step number 1, we got to pull out the tent. This is to help things from bridging up. Now we had trouble in line with this thing bridging, and I was told by someone from New Leader that when we put this back, we need to put that tent on top of that, those support brackets, and that will actually help it not bridge. It's getting hot out there, getting real sunny. I don't need any more sun for a while. Put up our sunshade. Now we're gonna flip this thing around, nose it inside. If the door's tall enough, we should be fine as far as clearance. And it's a 18-foot door.
Those are your connectors for the insert.
Yeah.
There's 3 zip ties there that just need cut off, looks like.
I bet these bolts are gonna be fun to get out.
Which bolts? Should be just them 4.
They look very, very uncorroded.
Like I think this something.
It does for line. I don't know about this. But that box looks like it would sit right there, so I have to.
Yeah.
Can't believe it came out.
Mike gave them to me, and I've got an SAE set someplace. Can't find it.
Mike, your father-in-law?
Yeah.
This video is not sponsored by WD-40 or WD-40 lubrication products.
Could be though.
It definitely could be. Right now it's very one-sided sponsorship, like a reverse sponsorship. I told that to someone the other day about something, and they had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, think about it.
It's like our partnership with Deere.
It's like our partnership with all. None of them are paying.
What in the miserable is this?
First it's all up in there nice like. So I'm gonna just see if we have any stainless bolts. These ones are getting a little rusty, and they're on the back of that fertilizer spreader where they get a lot of fertilizer. Just the dust of fertilizer is extremely corrosive. That's why the bed is all stainless steel. I don't know why these bolts weren't stainless steel, but compare to our stainless bolt bin and see if we got any this size. Oh yeah, I think we're in good shape. They're not empty. Yep, 1/2 inch. Hey BJ, are those bolts plenty long enough or you want them a little longer? Benefits of having a hardware store in your shop. Hey, try to drop it into your truck.
Yeah?
Let me grab this line. You're running over our workbench. Terrible idea to put tools on tires. So we are now ready to go get the insert. Well, we didn't have a clevis, and I don't like how it's hooked. Anyways, I was saying I don't really like how we've got this hooked. We should probably invest in some proper rigging at some point, but we don't have it right now. So we're just going to stand back and see what happens. Eesh. Yeah, you're going to hit the door when you come out. So we put ratchet straps in these eyes just to kind of put some side pressure on those hooks. That way, if they did come off, they don't fly out. It's definitely not the best situation, but we're making do with what we got, and that's part of farming. One thing that drives me nuts is we never raise those doors all the way up. I feel like it's just asking for a problem. So I was trying to raise them up all the way. I mean, it's not like we're saving any energy by not raising it that last 1.5 feet, but it could save a windshield. Don't move, just stay right there. You're above it and he's backing under you. Not at the moment, you're good. I think it's pretty much in there, ain't it? Yeah. Tried to get some punches, stay hooked to it. Make an accident.
No, he's not. Just bought these gloves.
You want to do your shout out for?
I mean, it's like $11 for a 3-pack. It's not like it put me back a whole lot.
Well, maybe Grease Monkey'd sponsor you.
Yeah, hey, Grease Monkey. Hydraulic oil monkey.
Hooking up the electrics on this thing. I think that's gonna work right. I'm not an electrical expert, but I have low expectations. I think we're kind of to the point where we just need the sideboards. Everybody, thanks for watching that video. Kind of just ends abruptly because it promptly poured rain right after we got that bed in. We did not get to use it that day, but it did work, and man, we got her installed. But thanks for watching, everybody. If you would do me a favor, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, drop us a comment. This all helps with the YouTube algorithms, and we'll see you in the next one.